Hi everybody, Army Pea here for eXplorminate.net, and welcome to our next episode of Stellaris with the expansion Utopia installed. So where I left you off last time was about 12 years past in the meantime. Now if you can remember, the evil and methodical independent Saigagan League, which at one point was actually called the Saigagan Union, they changed governments just like most governments do. And you can recognize here that obviously this gentleman is not a Saigagan. He's actually a completely different race, so it means that even in their egalitarian militaristic state, they still promote other races to be able to lead as president. Well, they are now our vassal. So you can see here as I open up the screen, they're the vassal under the Army Pea Republic. Additionally, you can see here that I have pretty much all consumed the other nation, and the reason that I decided to pick up this point more than any other was I decided to kind of split my unity up, which is probably not the best deal, just because finishing a specific tree in general will most likely reap you the most benefits, especially if you have the utopian expansion installed or purchased, is because these ascension perks are just so darn powerful. So you can see here that I only have two of them unlocked, yet I've opened up a total of 4 trees. The reason I did this was because I wanted to open up the diplomacy tree so that I could form a federation. Federations are now formed not by researching it under technology, they're done so by opening up the diplomacy screen. So I opened that up with the intention of forming my own federation against some of the stronger, yes, less friendly nations that have accompanied this world, in hopes that I could turn a lot of my defensive packs into federations. Kind of give you an idea here. The Zum Seller Concordat, actually a part of a federation with these fine gentlemen, the Henjarith Enlightened Kingdom. So as soon as those two decided to gang up and decide to make their own federation, I thought it was time that I made my own. Because quite frankly, the Order of Jerk Thon, which has always been a bit of a worry for us, has been quite reluctant to go back to war. Probably because he's having a struggle right now inside of his internal borders. I know that he's a slaver. If we go back to his diplomacy screen, he is a xenophobic spiritualist. But the reason I know that he's having a hard time is because you can see I actually have 2 planets right here in his systems, which we've acquired because they have seceded. A group of Spartacus type rebellion natures have rebelled from that union, and the only reason I'm sure that I haven't been attacked is because my military is so strong and because I have so many defensive packs. But that being said, it's like I said, it's halted his advancement into our territory. But the reason I kind of wanted to pick it up from this point is that the Gonfrep Interstellar Empire, which we helped out earlier during a war, included, when he was being attacked by the horse-face Zumstellar Concordat, wants to make a federation with us. And I want to do that because even though he's authoritarian, which is kind of, counterintuitive to the Army Pea Republic way of accepting everybody and fighting for individual freedoms, has always helped us out, has always been truthful to our pact, has always maintained as a strong neighbor. And the reason is probably because he's xenophile and he's xenophobic, and he's militaristic. So I am going to agree. Oh, look at this. We got a curator at the Enclave. Oh. I'll tell you right now, there are a lot of very interesting profiles that you can see here in Stellaris, and although Utopia added none, to the mix. This is probably one of the most hideous that I've ever seen. I mean, this is just a hideous looking beast. You have to think it's got some type of flying ability, but those wings are awfully short. His beak is gross, like it's some type of prehistoric beast. But you can see here in his lower torso, it looks like he's got 4 arms. Maybe it's me and some type of childish nightmare, you know, talking out and above, but I really think that this, you know, this is the kind of stuff that, you know, children's nightmares are made out of. Ugh, God, just take a deep look at that. I mean, imagine explaining that to one of your children. Anyway, before I get on too far, all he wants to do is sell us research, which we've got. Well, it looks like we've actually got, jeez. Speaking of childish nightmares, apparently the Little Shop of Horrors is right on and kicking it. Not only does he want us to feed him more Seymour, he's also got a belly full of some type of chrysalis that, you know, glows in the dark. And he also wants to sell us something, which is just great. So anyway, now we are a part of a federation, which is awesome because I actually think that it's going to reduce, what do we got, in a federation for, remember if you're part of a federation, I believe it's 2, but we've got enough bonus modifiers that it's actually only taking a half of 1 influence per turn, which is great. Unfortunately, we are maxed right out when it comes to our influence. We're going to try to see where we can spend that. And 13 of 14 liters. I don't know if I want to spend a liter on that, especially because I want to replace my science ship. What are we lacking right now? We go to our output screen and see what are we outputting. Energy. So we're going to take our highest energy output core world and we're going to give them capacity outlook. Why not? 120 a turn. That's perfect. So now that we're part of, what's our new federation called? We're part of the Auspicious Alliance. I don't know about you, but that sounds auspicious. What? Just kidding. No, and the only problem with that is that because we're part of a federation, we actually have a 20% reduction in our total naval capacity. So I think what I'm going to do is open up our policies and edicts, and we're going to turn on the Grand Fleet. Now, if you're not aware of this, the Grand Fleet basically gives us a naval capacity of plus 35%. Our ship repair is plus 15% faster, and our upgrade cost is at a savings of minus 15. All good news, don't get me wrong, but the only issue is that it will actually cost 1.8 influence per turn. So in doing so, I actually think I'm going to turn off our information quarantine. Grand Fleet's on. Got some headroom, perfect. So now the real question is that I do believe that by doing so, I am no longer part of an association. Yeah, it's true. I'm no longer part of an association with the Postis Alliance. Oh, jeez. Well, they've been, you know, for a whole bunch of tree huggers, they've been holding on really good against this militaristic type jerk Thon. So we've got, yeah, I agree to a migration, why not? So yeah, now we're part of an alliance. We really should be trying to recruit, to tell you the truth. Okay, well, was there a reason? I'm actually going to try, my whole point of this was actually to try to get as many people into this federation as we possibly could, because I had defensive alliances with quite a few people. Seems only right that we actually try to maximize everything that we possibly could when it comes to, you know, being best friends. Okay, just going to recruit another scientist. Ooh, research speed, that's nice. Survey speed, that's also nice. scientific jargon, and we're going to get you to automatically survey. Perfect. Everybody's up and running. What's this transmission? Ooh. An interesting transaction from the Zelk Compact. Of course, the Zelk has been on the forefront against the Jurkin Thon. I'm just going to exit out of here. So he's been taking the brunt of the Order of Jurkic Thon. And they have been trading back punches pretty much since the start of us finding both these civilizations. And although a hideous beetle that makes me really want to, you know, jump onto my trooper of Starship Troopers and be on the bounce, I have to admit he has been a good ally. So let's just see what he has to offer. Wants to give up 99 minerals and Egnos vapor, which gives us +5 to my habitability, and he wants kinetic weapon damage of 15%. Teklar crystals. Well, I say why not? We don't have them, so it's all good in the hood when you trade with an ally. But that being said, I had defensive alignments with the Sacred Vetridius Empire. Seems that he doesn't want to join our awesome empire. I don't know why. Let's see what the reason would be. Well, they're already a part of a federation status with another empire. It's a damn shame. What about the Bibikaki hegemon? Again, not a heck of a lot willing to trade or willing to be part of our Auspicious Entente, or was it Auspicious Entente? Auspicious Alliance, which is crazy to me because we've got an equivalent fleet and I'm kicking around 10,000 military power right now. So just kind of a timeline right now, we're about we're just with around the 2300 mark. So realistically, we're going to be seeing the endgame crisis, whatever it might be, in about 100 years, give or take. It actually could come sooner, but typically speaking, we don't. And as it stands right now, the Saigagan Union that we got here, or the Saigagan League, is our vassal. So I'm actually just kind of, you know, pacing time right now, trying to get these guys ready for integration, because as soon as they're part of the integration system, they're going to be mine. You can see here that we've got about 2 years to wait before we can absorb them into our empire, and as soon as that happens, my naval capacity is going to shoot absolutely right through the roof, and we're going to be able to finally be on the offensive if we choose to be. Just saying, we've got some pretty aggressive neighbors, so why not? One thing I've noticed thus far, though, got here a lot of minerals. Can't go wrong with a research station. What I have noticed though is I actually don't think we have any fanatical purifiers or hive minds in this game, which is a shame because those two can not only be a lot of fun to play, but there can be a lot of fun to play against. I've encountered, on my last game I encountered both of them, and sweet mother of pearl, you're in for a lot of action. So if you have, you know, in particular want to play a really kind of action packed, less diplomacy, or you know, at least 1 or 2 or 3 very aggressive neighbors, I would highly suggest playing on a higher difficult or a higher map level, in terms of maybe large, what I believe is 800 stars, and massive, or whatever the case may be, either 800 or 1,000 stars, and at least try to dump both a fanatical purifier and a hive mind into your game and force it by forcing them into your game, and make the rest, you know, mixed bag of whatever you want, because you're gonna have a lot of fun, because those two will constantly keep you on your toes, especially if they get a good start. If they get a good start, you're gonna be loving life. Okay, we finally got our shield capacitors. Sweet mother of pearl. About time. Oh, and then I've also decided to colonize this lovely planet. I'll show you right here. Abdrad Prime. Unstable tectonics or habitability is down, so is our happiness, but our engineering output is massive, +20, and we get minerals +10. The race I decided to pick with this was actually ended up being my uplifted race. This is one of those beautiful moments where you can kind of see inside of some of my tactics. The oh boy, can you imagine how? Let's just say the Zanvani. Good enough for government work. Anyway, you can see here that when I uplifted them, one of the few things that I did was I gave them a natural ability of +15 to engineering output. And the reason I did that was because I saw this planet and thought, hey, look at this engineering output, my +20%. Gee, I wonder if I could put those two together, how awesome that would be. And that's exactly what we're doing. Oh.
System survey complete.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like I'm run right out of places actually to survey, which is shocking. Because there's still places to actually survey. It's funny, no matter how many times, no matter what you do in these games, you just can't seem to eliminate all of the small little nuanced little bugs that gets from point A to point B. Wow, look at this. I haven't actually gotten battleships, so that's obviously the next move. In the meantime, we're actually going to keep popping up and increasing our ability to defend ourselves by our fleet. Looks like we're in pretty good shape. So yeah, that being said, as soon as we're ready to start integrating the Independent Saigagan Union, we're going to fire that right on all cylinders. Again, this is one of those deals you can do with the Artisan Troop. They're a curator that offers themselves as, you know, muses to your empire. Someone who can inspire you. Now, choose this, because why not? It gives us a plus monthly unity of +50%. Our opinion of the artisan group goes up by 20, and it only costs 1,000 energy credits. And let's face it, it's a steal of a deal, because I'm going to be able to communicate with the artisan trooper here and organize oops, sorry, I'm going to show that again. So once you get to a certain point of their opinion, I believe that 100 is actually the highest you can get. Could be wrong, but I actually don't think I am. You can organize a festival across the world. So a mere cost of 500 energy credits, 500 minerals, and 100 influence, we can make a deal. They'll organize a festival that will, of the scale that will require all our artists to bring their talent. Not an easy or cheap job. Sounds like a great party to me. This is the modifier it gives you for a total of 60 months, 5 years. Plus 15% to happiness and minus 10% to growth timers. Wow. It is a deal. So right now, everybody in my empire is going to be happier for 5 more years, because the artists are just kicking it. I always assumed that for the Army Pea Republic anyway, that kind of party would be like Mardi Gras times 10. Minus the shrimp, I guess. I don't know, maybe the serve inside gag in there, who knows? But it would be an awesome deal. Okay. Kind of running out of things for my construction to do anything. I'm actually starting to think that maybe we should be... I don't know if I want to get that far into it. Pardon me. Yeah, the whole deal here is that I'm kind of waiting for us to integrate the Saigagan League here, because as soon as I do that, I've got a couple planets here. You can notice I've got 3 separate planets here that'll be juicier than juice. One problem is that the influence cost of just consuming these at this point would be massive, whereas if I integrated, it'd be easier than pie. I'm gonna get my fleets up here, because once I hit about 20,000, I actually think I'm gonna go for the dimensional horror. What do you got here? Improved research, that's fine. Plasma cannons. I'm gonna go with antimatter power. There's nothing better than having more power on your ship than you actually think you may need. I don't know what technology we have. Auto curating salts. Habitability again, plus leaderships. Why not habitability? Only 7 months. We'll take it. It's one thing I really like about you get to this stage of the game. Of course, every game's a little bit different, but pace and feel is that my empire's kind of stopped growing for the time being. So I've when your empire stops growing, what happens is you don't get the debuff modifiers that you normally get towards both your unity and your research. So you'll notice that you'll actually start to increase your actual research, or decrease your research timers. Wow, that's good. Okay, hang on a second. We've got an event here. The population of Aberdrad Prime are currently witnessing a spectacular sight. A comet passing through Aberdrad Prime's asteroid belt, and the effect is being described as absolutely breathtaking. Plus 10% prime, or plus 10% to happiness? Pfft, take that 2 times a week. Oh, on the exact same note, an unstable tectonic plate at Aberdrad Prime has just violently shifted again. Reports of damage to the colony are just starting to arrive. So we get to see an awesome flyby comet that also may have caused an earthquake. Groovy. Wait, hang on a second. We got an earthquake report. Recent earthquakes rocked our colony at Aberdrad Prime, caused no damage, and serendipitously has uncovered a batch of useful minerals. Exciting times we live in. Okay. We got a hostile fleet. So anyway, you can see here in the modifiers, I've got quite a few going on. I got an asteroid belt, minerals plus 10%, energy outputs at, or sorry, engineering output, it's at plus 20. Everybody's happy because they saw a comet, but sad that it caused so much trouble. What we're going to do is I think we're just going to take, going to get all primed up here and start producing some serious engineering, because I have played this game all the way through to the megastructure's stance point. Oh god, I love mastery of nature. If you're wondering why I'm paying nothing while clearing all these tiles, buy Utopia. Enough said. So that being said, I'm going to turn this into basically just a massive engineering output. Because you can see here from the title bar above, I'm actually lacking in engineering, and the reason that I want to get ahead on it is because I have to learn a specific type of rare technology to be able to build the megastructures called Master Engineering. Could be wrong, but I think it's close. I want to be able to start producing that and getting that rockin' and jockin'. Okay, so our allies, Gulfrep Interstellar Empire wants to, I want to renew our, not interested in food. I'll tell you right now, out of all of the different resources, minerals have become gold. Energy, to a lesser degree, but it seems like no empire wants food. It's just not interested at all. Okay. No orders. Yeah, it really does seem like we've got the entire this is a medium map, everybody. If you're kind of curious what size map I'm playing, it does seem like everything's been done. So I think that what we're going to do is we're going to check our output. Go to Yawsome Prime. Yawsome Prime. We're going to get an assist research, because every little schoolboy knows that if you start assisting research, it actually gives your scientist the ability to gain levels. Which is important to everybody, because as soon as they start gaining levels, then they can start doing some pretty high-end research when it comes to any type of anomalies or anything like that. Just talking on the forums today about what the intended nature of Utopia when it came to the way that minerals are produced now. With the new consumer goods, it seems like a lot of people are having a bit of a struggle right now about just being able to deal with it, because if you played the game right from vanilla, you know that once you get to about 2300, which is at the point I'm at right now, and I'm actually going to start integrating this vassal. Well. Oh, there you are, you ugly mug. There's a deep sense of satisfaction I have as a gamer to look your enemy in the face after you've crushed him. Know that you can look at some type of weird braids, or some type of weird fungi that's growing at the back of your tattooed, disgusting face, and to know that I've beat you, and to make you admit that you were wrong to oppose the Army Pea way in the first place. So I get to look at you and say, integrate subject. Holy cow on sweet mother of pearl. Integrating this subject will take 743 influence at a rate of 5 influence per turn. Let me just throw this in perspective before I decide to say yes. I'm going to open up my influence tree, or my traditions tree. Look at supremacy. Oh, sorry, no, it's domination. I have this one here called Star Lords. It makes the cooldown for the time that we can integrate them minus by 50%, which is gone from 10 years down to 5. Then here, vassal accumulation means that the cost is reduced by 33%. So this giant vassal is so massive that if it was that minus 33% wasn't there, it would have been nearly full cap. It would have been close to 1,000. No, it would have been over 1,000. Definitely would have been 1074. Yeah, it would have been roughly 1,000. I wouldn't have been able to do it. So bravo. So how long is this going to take here? Integration will take 140 months. Oh my, 148 months. Like what? 12 years? It's 12 years at my total output of influence monthly gained minus 0.212. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, research complete. We got our vapor, which is refining, which is awesome. I always tend to pick the cheapest one just because it's going to cost almost no time. Like naval capacity plus 10%, why not? 11 months, perfect. Oh, our general has died. Oh no, he was a good general, man. Won't have it. I need me a general. It's good for army damage. Gotta have him on hand. You never know when a good general is going to be needed. Trust me. Ask anybody at Foster Prime. They'll tell you exactly where it's at. Oh boy, everything's coming down all at once here. Well, it looks like we've had a fucking a huge migration. Okay. So I've got 2 there. Still learning, yeah. It's one thing I've noticed about this game, and this is true for 1.50. So I don't know how this is going to apply at a later date, but I tell you right now, migration seems to happen fast and furious from multiple different planets, even when you don't want it to. You'll notice here what I've decided to do. Why would I give you a research agreement? Beat it! General has died, and I've got that. Yeah, so what I've noticed is that migration certainly is a little bit off. It happens frequently and randomly. It doesn't seem to follow an order. Back, you know, in version 1.4, migration would have to do with several different factors, but they were primarily to do with your migration attraction. You can upgrade that by either edicts, or you could upgrade them by certain, you know, buildings, infrastructure that you can build on site. On top of that, you also had the second level to that would have been how happy everybody was. If everybody was really happy and there was a bonus perhaps on the actual planet, they'd move from a planet that would have made them unhappy to a place that was happy. This one in particular, I mean, like, if you look here, habitability is down 10% and happiness is down 5%. We really shouldn't be getting any type of peons here, because, you know, they're only habitable to like 70%, and their happiness is down 5%, but they leave en masse, so we'll see what happens there. Oh, interesting, we got several different options here. This is maybe the first time we ever have a ruler election that could be a race other than the peon race. Ooh, natural purity, happiness 10%, destroyer building cost, not too shabby. Edict cost, monthly influence, well, we're down monthly influence. Food 10%, trust growth. Yeah, I think I'm going to elect you. And there we are. No more alien rulers for us. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody, so this is kind of a brief little overview. We are now a part of the auspicious alliance with our good friends, the one-eyed monsters. See, I was going to say a one-eyed purple monster, but that would just be literal what it is. Is it literally a one-eyed purple monster? Whatever you guys are thinking, I didn't say it. But that being said, we have a large enough fleet. We are going to be, you know, integrating the independent Saigagan League, which is, of course, very, very, I was looking forward to this for a long time. A sweet, sweet victory. And in doing so, will probably make us the largest nation in the entire galaxy. And we're kind of just doing, just shoring up our economy. So what I think I'm going to do for the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, is, assuming that nothing crazy happens, I'm going to build up my fleet. I'm going to build it up to about 20 grand. So about 8,000 more than we're currently sitting. To do so, I'm going to have to build up some of my my star bases on various different sectors. So it'll be a vast undertaking when it comes to some of our sector resources. But I say worth it. And in order to get to 20 grand, we're going to take on the Dimensional Horror inside the Gaping Maw. We may even check out the Ignatic Fortress after that, but we'll see how time permits. But that being said, that's kind of where I'm going to sit. So the next time you guys see Army Pea and the Army Republic kicking butt and taking names, we will have integrated the Independent Saigagan League. We have built up a fleet unparalleled in the galaxy, currently at the time being. And we'll be ready to kick off with an action-filled episode. So this has been Army Pea for eXplorminate.net. Thanks for watching, guys.